This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. Thanks for joining us tonight and every night for the Giants Postcast here on the Locked On Sports Network. And the Giants couldn't find the big hit as they went 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, and their 5-2 loss to the Athletics. And Tyler Mahle was relatively solid through the the first four innings, but ran into a turbulent fifth inning where he surrendered 4 runs, could not get the ball down in the zone, and was just missing his spots. We'll break that down tonight, and we'll also get into Matt Chapman and Rafael Devers, both failing to deliver in multiple big opportunities in the loss. I will say Devers' at-bats looked a little bit better to me than Chapman's at-bats. Chapman, man, this guy, what are you going to do with Matt Chapman? And Heliot Ramos exited this game with right quad tightness, and the San Francisco Giants, we got to see Casey Schmitt get some action in left field as a result. But we'll break it all down. But first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for tuning in on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're getting the show, we appreciate it. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants daily show for more in-depth coverage. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. And we got a lot to break down from today's game because I feel like there's a lot of permutations from this one. We'll get to Tyler Mahle in the second half of the show, but I want to start us off with Matt Chapman. And this is what I think you're going to be talking about after this one. It's probably what you've been talking about the last couple of weeks.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And Matt Chapman is a legitimate problem for the Giants right now. I mean, this guy, his at-bats look so non-competitive. Multiple strikeouts in huge situations. I'm looking mainly at that fifth inning where the Giants already got 1 run in because of a Harrison Bader home run earlier in the inning. And you got Jung-Hoo Lee, Luis Arraez back-to-back singles. And you get Matt Chapman in the box with runners at first and second and only 1 out. And you can't even advance the runners, man. Like you an infield pop out in foul territory. Like you got to figure out a way to have a more competitive at bat. And then Rafael Devers strikes out in the top of the fifth to end that inning. Not very good stuff from Rafael Devers, although he was squaring up the ball against Savali. Just didn't really drop for him. He hit one in the gap that Lawrence Butler was able to run down earlier in the game. I thought Devers looked balanced. He was giving you some, quality swings up there. He was definitely trying to put the ball over that fence in right field. Matt Chapman just looks lost, man. I don't know what he's doing up there. And right now, he's a problem. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Bryce Eldridge and what you're going to do with Casey Schmitt. And Matt Chapman's kind of the guy in the way at this point. And not only is he the guy in the way, he's a $25 million a year guy in the way. So then after the Giants fail to produce any more runs in that fifth inning, which I will say, nice to see the home run from Harrison Bader. Don't want to take anything away from that. We're really hoping that this guy can turn it around. If he can provide, anything close to the 17 home runs he gave the Cardinals last year for the Giants, then that would be a very, very, very big boost for this outfield. I just don't see that happening. Harrison Bader's swing has looked pretty broken, although it does look a little bit better after his stint on the injured list. But in that fifth inning, the bottom of the fifth inning, that's where things really started to unwind for the Giants. And we'll get to that in a minute. But I want to finish this thing on Chapman because he had another opportunity in the seventh inning. And again, you got Harrison Bader leads off the inning with the single. Luis Arraez ends up with a double later on in the inning. You get second and third with only 1 out, and you get Matt Chapman in the box. Again, less than 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. This time, all you need is a fly ball to the outfield. You should be able to get a fly ball to the outfield if you're Matt Chapman. Instead, he strikes out. And I'm so tired of watching Matt Chapman strike out in these big situations, just swinging through pitches. In that pitch that he swung at that to end the at-bat, not a strike, just a non-competitive at-bat again. And I'm just tired of seeing these things happen. I mean, I guess he did see seven pitches in that at-bat, so I can't say it was entirely non-competitive, but the result just leaves you needing and wanting more every single time this guy is in the box in a key situation. He fails to deliver. Since April 15th, exactly 1 month ago to this day, he's batting 180. 180. He only has 18 hits in the last month. He's got 7 ribbies and 8 runs scored, no home runs. Like, what? I mean, I just don't even understand what this guy's value is right now for the Giants. And I love Matt Chapman. You can probably see his bobblehead right behind me over my shoulder every night if you're tuning in, if you're an everydayer. And, it's frustrating. Like, I love him on defense. He's one of my favorite players to watch at third base in the entire league. And he just can't deliver for you offensively. And it's been this way now pretty much since he injured his hand last year. Like, he never really regained form. Remember, he was red hot before that hand injury when he was sliding back in. I think he was sliding into a base, and he hyperextended his hand, hyperextended some fingers in it, and it just threw him off for the rest of the season. I have yet to see him regain his form. And I don't think that the injury is still causing him issues. I just think that he's out of whack. He's out of sorts. I don't know if he's going to fix it. I don't know if he's going to get back to form. Matt Chapman, in my opinion, he needs to go in some way. Like, you got to either consider starting to sit him for Casey Schmitt and Bryce Eldridge, or you got to figure out a way to trade him. And I know that contract's pretty untradeable right now, but what's the other option? You're going to hinder Bryce Eldridge's development because you just have this massive financial commitment to Matt Chapman? That's insane. You got to figure out a way to get Bryce Eldridge in the lineup every single day. And I will give Tony Vitello credit, because on tonight's postgame, he said that Bryce has to play or he has to go back down to AAA. And that is exactly what should happen with Bryce Eldridge. There's no world in which you should have a top 20 prospect in Major League Baseball up with your big league club to use in like very specific situations, and maybe he starts a game or two every week. That's absolutely insane. That's a very quick way to destroy a prospect's development. In the Giants, no strangers to doing that in the past. We've seen this before. Christian Arroyo, Tyler Beede. I mean, anybody that you can think of, even as far back as guys like Noah Lowry. Like, we've been told for a long time that we've had a lot of good prospects. None of them have fleshed out. Marco Luciano, by the way, if you don't want to, if you want to just feel even worse about yourself as a Giants fan tonight, go look up what Marco Luciano has been doing in the Yankees farm system. It'll just make you sick to your stomach, man. The Giants player development has been so bad over the years. And this is part of the reason, because you get all caught up in all this other stuff. Just worry about getting your best players, your best prospects in the best position to flourish, and things will probably work out, right? Like, you got to figure out a way to get Bryce Eldridge in the lineup. And I'm glad to hear Tony Vitello kind of back that up, to say that he has to play up here or go back down to AAA, because he needs to play. He's not going to get better by sitting on the bench, by getting a pinch hit at bat, or getting one start every week. I mean, you see him at the plate, and he's not seen a lot of these pitchers, or the vast majority of them, ever before at the major league level. And he looks out of sorts. He looks like his rhythm's off at the plate, and he just does not look like the guy that we've seen at the other levels. And I don't think that's entirely his fault. Like, yeah, he's got some accountability there. He's got to figure it out. Got to stop, swinging and missing so many early pitches in the at bat. But you've seen him be aggressive. He comes up there. He's clearly got a plan. He wants to jump all over that first strike that he sees. And I don't hate that. Like, at least he's got a plan. That's more than I can say about guys in this lineup like Matt Chapman, for instance, who seem to be completely lost at the dish and don't know what they're doing. So Bryce Eldridge needs to start every single day or close to it. Casey Schmitt also, you cannot take that guy out of the lineup. Another great nugget from Tony Vitello in tonight's press conference. He said Casey Schmitt deserves to play every single night, that you can't get this guy out of the lineup because of how he's been hitting. And he's also said that Casey Schmitt deserves teammate of the week. If anyone deserves teammate of the week, it's Casey, is the exact quote from Tony Vitello. Said he never complains or asks why. He's working hard all over the field, and you saw that again tonight with him playing left field in some emergency situations for Heliot Ramos, who had to exit this game with some right quad tightness. And Casey Schmitt, I mean, I think we have kind of seen this coming. He's talked about it to the media a few times. He said on FP Santangelo's podcast with Susan Slusser, which is called Splash Hit Territory. Check it out if you guys haven't yet. Casey said on a recent show that they had that he ordered a glove off of Amazon, an outfield glove, and it ended up being a left-handed glove. So obviously he was able to figure it out before tonight's game. Clearly he was able to get a new glove since then and be able to, have something that works for him as a right-handed player out there. But Casey Schmitt, I love this guy on this team, the ultimate multi-tool guy on defense, and he's a very good defender. Like he's a gold glove caliber third baseman, and he's a plus defender at pretty much every other position. Shortstop, maybe not a plus defender, but for a guy like him, who's just kind of a utility player, to also be able to play an effective shortstop, man, that's a very valuable piece. And with the way that the bat has been going this season, I know lately it's cooled off a little bit, but overall this season, Casey Schmitt has been very, very, very good for the Giants. The best hitter probably on this team. So you got to find a way to keep him in the lineup as well. He cannot be the guy that sits because Matt Chapman is just being paid $25 million. So you got to find someone else to put on the bench. We're going to find out real soon here if Tony Vitello has truly been given the reins to make these changes as a first-year head coach coming out of college and right to the big leagues. We're going to find out real quick if this guy has the cojones to go and sit a guy like Matt Chapman, and two, if he's empowered by management to make that decision, or if, the front office is telling him the guy that we paid needs to play every day. So we'll see how this happens and how this plays out going further on along the season. But man, Matt Chapman right now, a giant traffic cone to Bryce Eldridge's development and to Casey Schmitt's development as well. Remember, he's still a pretty young player as well. He needs to be in this lineup as often as possible. We got to move on. We got to get to some other stuff from tonight. Luis Arraez, man, what a game for Luis Arraez. Really doing a lot for the Giants at the dish. Just couldn't really translate that into run production for the Giants, but we'll talk about his night on the other side. But a great surprise for the Giants so far this season. That's what's coming up next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are here and every possession matters. If you're looking to get even closer to the action, FanDuel has a great offer to get you started. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right. Turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. I like using FanDuel during the playoffs because everything I need is right there in one place. Stats, trends, matchups. The whole experience feels a lot more informed, and I can look at all of this before I make my picks. Whether you're looking at a player prop or just following your favorite stars, it adds another level of excitement to every game. It's a really easy app to navigate, and it makes playoff basketball even more engaging from start to finish. And man, this round has been really fun, but I'm going to continue to tell you guys the same thing I tell you on every single FanDuel read that I have had on this show for like the last month, and that is the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win the NBA championship. So go right now to your FanDuel account and put some shekels on the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA championship. If you like winning money, then that's what you should do. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel, play your game. And today's show is brought to you by Rocket Money. If you've ever opened your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? You're not alone. Keeping track of subscriptions, spending, and bills can get overwhelming fast. That's where Rocket Money comes in, helping you take control of your finances all in one place. Rocket Money helps track all your subscriptions in one spot so you can cancel the ones you don't need with just a few taps. It automatically categorizes your spending so you can actually see where your money's going, and you can set budgets, get alerts, and stay on top of upcoming bills. It just makes everything feel more organized and gives you a clearer picture of your finances day to day. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join rocketmoney.com/lockedon. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. And today's show is also brought to you by Indeed. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and one position you still have to fill is sitting there open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, it's a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. Skills, experience, location, so you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute that I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all of those boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, it's a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast, the Locked On Giants podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. And tonight, man, the Giants, they fall to the A's 5-2. Matt Chapman lets you down multiple times in very key situations. But it wasn't just him, right? Like those we highlighted two specific at-bats from him. But the Giants as a whole, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. You leave 10 on base. You're going to lose a baseball game if you do that. There's virtually no way that you win when you're doing that kind of stuff, especially when you got Tyler Mahle serving up meatballs out there. And we'll get to Mahle in a minute before the end of the show. But real quick, we got to get into tonight's player of the game, Luis Arraez.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And Luis has been, I'm happy that he has played as great of a defense as he has. Like the level of second base he has been playing is top tier in Major League Baseball, second to none. Like this guy isn't just one of the best second basemen in the game right now defensively. He's one of the best defensive players as a whole. And again, you saw it tonight, that relay in shallow right field from Jung-Hoo Lee that he took to throw the runner out of the plate early in this game. Man, that was a great relay. The way that he positioned his body, perfect positioning, and the way that he was able to quickly transition that ball and fire it, that was textbook. The only thing that I could say, get the ball on the other side of the catcher if you can. Daniel Susac, what a great job he did by fielding that ball on the wrong side of his body on a short hop and getting the tag down all the way across on the other side in time to get the runner at the plate. Great defensive play by the Giants there. And you love to see what Luis Arraez has been doing defensively. It's nothing new at this point. Like this isn't just a nice, hot start, as a lot of people like to say in the month of May in Major League Baseball. It's been almost 2 months since this season started for the Giants, and Luis Arraez, I haven't seen a single play that has made me scratch my head from him defensively. I've seen more bad plays from Casey Schmitt, more bad plays from Matt Chapman, platinum glove Matt Chapman, than I have from Luis Arraez. I've seen more bad plays from shortstop, from Willie Adames than Luis Arraez. I saw more bad plays from Pat Bailey than Luis Arraez. And we know how great of a defender Pat Bailey is. Luis Arraez has been the best defensive player on this Giants team, and that goes a long way because although he obviously is going to give you great base hit production, the 4 for 5 tonight, obviously he was on fire, and you love to see the 317 batting average, but you needed another tool. Like when he was just coming to the Giants, perceived as a one-tool player, I wasn't completely bought in on Luis Arraez as just being like the slap base hit guy. Like you need something else, some speed, an ability on defense, some power, like something. Bring something else to the table, not just one tool. We've seen a lot of one-tool guys on the Giants in the past couple of years, specialists, things like that have not worked out very often. Arraez comes here, and my perception was this is a one-tool player until all of a sudden he got with Ron Washington and is now the best defensive second baseman in all of baseball. Credit to Ron Wash and Luis Arraez for working his butt off to become one of the best defensive players in the entire league. This guy was so good tonight offensively and defensively, which is why he gets tonight's player of the game. We also saw his first home run in a San Francisco Giants uniform, came in the 4th inning, and this one tied this game up at 1 run apiece. Only 350 feet. So we will got to mention that, Luis Arraez not going to hit a whole lot of home runs. He's not a big power guy, obviously, but hey, it counts the same. Gets over the wall. Doesn't matter how far it was, counts for the same number of runs. Luis Arraez, great game from him tonight. He gets tonight's player of the game. Before we get out of here tonight, we got to go into Tyler Mahle just real quick, a little bit about his night tonight, because really the turning point all centered around Tyler Mahle.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And Tyler Mahle, man, in that 5th inning, the bottom of the 5th, he just completely unraveled. He was pretty solid through the first 4, and he did give up a lot of bloop singles. But I'm going to say these singles, Those are not great swings on those pitches, and they're base hits anyways, because those pitches are not great pitches. He's leaving way too much of that ball over the plate. I mean, he's catching so much plate every single time he's throwing to the dish in that 5th inning, and he's leaving it up in the zone. You can pick one, buddy, throw it up and off to the side, inside or outside, and try to get someone to go fishing, or just go way up and out of the zone. Don't throw belt high fastballs right over the plate. Guys are going to hit them. And that's what happened to Tyler Mahle tonight. He just was not sharp. He was not on his game. And it didn't work out for the Giants. He got knocked around pretty bad in this one. He was cruising through the first 4, but the final stat line was not pretty. 5 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 runs. That's a whip of 2. And the ERA off the charts, man. 5.59 ERA on the season for Tyler Mahle. He did have 6 strikeouts in this one, but man, he has been really bad for the Giants all season long. And I mean, he's got the one win, and it was a big one. Came against the Dodgers. Love him for that. He's going to be a forever Giant just because of that one start, that one win against the Dodgers. But you look at what he's done the rest of his season, and the Giants have only won 3 games that he's started. I mean, that's not great. He's been having a very, very, very hard time on the mound for the Giants this year. The only game that he recorded a win was against the Dodgers. I mean, he gave up 4 runs against the Pirates. He had a nice game against the Rays, and he did hold them to no runs over 5 1/3 innings earlier this month. We should mention that. But right before that, against the Phillies, gave up 5 runs there. And before that game against the Dodgers, he gave up 4 runs to the Reds. I mean, Tyler Mahle has been an enigma this year because he has had a few really quality starts. On April 8th, for instance, against the Phillies, he went 5 2/3, no runs. That's quality. And the Phillies, pretty good team. I mean, not easy to keep them from scoring runs. And the Giants, it just doesn't seem like they can figure out how to get Tyler Mahle to be at his best and be consistently a productive starter for this team. He's not very consistent on that mound up there tonight, and he got tagged a bunch of times. And ultimately, the big backbreaker, Nick Kurtz, a 3-run bomb in that 5th inning to really break this game open. 4 runs in total for the A's in that 5th, and that was Tyler Mahle's day. Giants, the way the offense was going tonight, it just did not seem like they were going to have enough in the tank to get this one going. I know they had the 10 hits, but again, the anti-clutch gene that this Giants team seems to possess, it just can't shake it. It's been the last few years that the runners in scoring position thing has been a problem. And no matter what makeup of guys you get, we went from having a bunch of no-name players and the Farhan Zaidi can never make too many moves philosophy to the complete opposite of that, where you have an everyday player at pretty much every position, and you aren't doing this whole platoon thing and switching who every single day is changing up the lineup and changing up your defensive alignment. You pretty much know now who is going to be locked in at every spot, and yet the results are the same. The Giants cannot find a clutch hit to save their lives. And that's why they lost tonight in this 5-2 final to the Oakland A's, or excuse me, the Athletics, who don't have a location modifier. They are currently playing baseball in Sacramento, but the Athletics of the Professional Baseball League. I just don't even understand how we are doing this still with the A's. They should have never left Oakland in the first place, man. It really bums me out that this whole thing happened. I'm a Giants fan through and through. Baseball in the Bay Area is worse with the A's in Sacramento and with the A's not in Oakland. Virtually anywhere else, bring them back to where they belong. That's not going to happen. They're going to go to Los Angeles. But, man, I can't believe that the A's are actually leaving Oakland. And even though it's been a full season plus out in Sacramento, still doesn't feel like a real thing to me. It still feels really weird watching this game on TV in that tiny baby ballpark that is not supposed to have Major League Baseball being played on it. It's built for minor league baseball, both capacity-wise and size-wise. It's a bummer, man. It's a bummer. That's all the time we got for you guys today. Giants lose this first game of this 3-game set against the A's 5-2 out in Sacramento. We'll be coming to you live tomorrow night as the Giants take on the A's again in game 2 of this 3-game set. For tonight, that's all the time we got for you guys here on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.